Here is the beautiful Tennis Masters shield that goes to the champion along with the big check today. Beautiful crystal. Pete Sampras has won 10 shields so far. And today he would like to make it number 11 and prove that he is ready now for the summer season about to begin. The Grand Slam era, the Grand Slam time of year that he favors. Gustavo Kuerten has never won on hard courts, so that's his goal today, and he must beat Pete Sampras to do it. 79 degrees, a little cooler than it has been in recent days at the tournament. 54% humidity, about the same as yesterday, and that's because there is a breeze blowing, and it's more evident at the top of the stadium. It comes in gusts down on the court. And now let's join Pam Oliver, who had a chance to have a chat with Pete Sampras.
So, Pete, how confident do you feel that you can collect your first victory of the season?
Well, I feel pretty good. I've escaped through a couple tough matches throughout the tournament, and I feel like my game is starting to come around, especially the last couple matches. I feel like I'm pretty confident, and but I feel good. I feel like I got a pretty good chance on Sunday. But he's playing great. Just beat Andre pretty easily, and I feel like my games hopefully will be there. You know, come 3 o'clock on Sunday. So looking forward to it. Where
do you feel you need to get better? You have to get better in order to gain the form that you had when you were really dominating the sport.
Well, I don't look at myself as slipping at all. I mean, I've come close to winning a few times this year, and it'd be nice to win here, but I still feel like my game's still there, and I'm still into it, and I still want to be on the top of the game. But it'd be great for the confidence. I mean, certainly everyone was playing here. It's kind of a Grand Slam field, so I feel this would be a great win for me. But it won't be easy. I mean, he's playing great. He's going to be fresh, and certainly will be a loud crowd because a lot of Brazilians here in Miami, so I'm looking forward to that.
I didn't mean to imply that you were washed up or anything.
No, that's all right.
Good luck in the final.
Okay, thanks.
Pete Sampras has just taken a little break here during the warm-up. Gustavo Kuerten taking a few extra serves as a result, which is just as well, Luke, because he didn't start off finding the box too readily.
And what you want to do, especially if you're Gustavo Kuerten, is to get that high percentage of first serves in. And you want to pinpoint your serves, especially on the second serve, to the backhand of Pete Sampras. That's Pete's Achilles heel off the return. As you look at the road for Gustavo Kuerten, buying the first round because he was seated so high, and then he was down in the second round to Clermont from France. He was down a match point, and then he came through. Beat Pozzi from Italy, Wayne Ferrer 3-1. That was a battle, but he dominated the South African. And Andre Agassi.
Agassi 6-1 and 6-4. His coach is Laurie Passos from Brazil. He's been with him about 10 years now, since he was a youngster.
Play.
And we're ready to play. Pete Sampras will serve first. Bad volley for Sampras. 15 love.
Sampras is a little late getting to that passing shot because everyone knows the scouting report on Gustavo Kuerten is the backhand pass down the line. That's his favorite shot. So Pete was leaning to the forehand side, and then it was able to make a stab at the backhand to win that point.
Ace down the middle. 30 love. Sampras 14 and 2 on the season. Remember, he was out nearly 6 weeks following his semifinal loss at the Australian to Andre Agassi because of a back problem.
Steve Ulrich, the chair umpire for this match. One of the many full-time guys on the tour for the men.
Quickly 40 love. Wide service from
40 love.
Sampras, troubling Kuerten. After that bad back bothered him, he got back out to Scottsdale in that tournament, was unable to go with the thing still aggravating him. So then in Indian Wells, he lost in the quarters to Thomas Enquist. And Kuerten gets his first point of the match, 40-15.
Well, it's a good matchup between Sampras, the puncher, and Kuerten, the counter puncher. And the problem with Kuerten, he's not an accomplished returner. He's good if he's able to retrieve once he gets into the point, but he usually just likes to bump the ball and slice it in the play.
Big serve there, 129 miles an hour at the body, and Sampras takes the early lead, holding the first game of the match. And again, they will just change ends here. Their play is continuous. For Pete Sampras, he opened with a bye, of course, and then over Carlos Moya. Andreas Vinciguerra, youngster from Sweden. Everybody's keeping an eye on his problems there, didn't he, Liv?
He's awesome. Yeah, Pete Sampras, felt sick at one point, hurled a little bit, but he pulled through. And then as Ruzetsky, 3-3. He's always had problems with that lefty Ruzetsky. Lepenti in straight sets, and then Leighton Hewitt in the semis.
Three-setter against Hewitt. So he's had 2 3-setters in the tournament, but he feels that he is rounded into form, and here he is in the final. Oh, nice pass there from Kuerten. 15 love.
And Pete Sampras said at the top of the show that he needs to attack the Brazilian. And as you can see, he does right here with the slice backhand. Now, this isn't too bad. It's not deep, but it makes the Brazilian step up into the court and make a difficult pass cross court for the winner.
A huge television audience in Brazil. The biggest sports event going on in that country today is watching Kuerten here in the final against Sampras.
He's the Michael Jordan behind the soccer stars.
Perfect pass down the line from Kuerten.
And in the crowd, you'll see the green and the gold, the green and yellow shirts littered throughout the crowd supporting their guy. There's the favorite passing shot. He stays down with it. The technique, hitting through the ball.
30 love. From Florianopolis, a city of 300,000 in the southern part of Brazil.
That's a surfer town. Lots of visitors, tourist attraction.
Long from Sampras. 40 love Kuerten. 40 nickname Guga, which is a common nickname for the name Gustavo, and in Brazil it's not uncommon, but everybody knows who Guga is when they hear that name used publicly. It's this young man. And he wins the first game he serves at love, 1-all.
The scouting report on Gustavo
Kuerten
is fairly straight up. You know he's a counter puncher. He's good off the ground, but it's that strong backhand down the line where he turns his shoulders and extends through the point. When he can dominate off the pass and off the ground, his first serve percentage, if it's high, is a major factor. When he won the French Open a couple years ago, he knocked off even the defending champion Thomas Muster with that big first serve. He's not accomplished around the net. He can volley. He plays a little doubles in Davis Cup and other tournaments, but he's not confident up there with it. That's where his weakness lies.
126 miles an hour from Sampras again, right at Kuerten.
15 love.
Got his racket on it, knocked it long. 15 love.
But watch Gustavo. He's standing 5 to 6, 7 feet behind the baseline, trying to return the serve of Pete Sampras and just trying to block it. He doesn't want to take big cracks at it. On a second serve, he can do that, but here's the problem. Pete Sampras has a marvelous second serve, sometimes in the 110, 115 range.
That's long, and again, Sampras coming right at him. 3 consecutive serves.
Gustavo goes at 6'2", 6'3", so he's very lanky, and he can really reach out for some balls. So what do you do when you're playing a tall player with a lot of reach? Go to his body. Body blows.
Good deep serve again, 127 miles an hour.
Right at the body.
Very consistent and very effective so far in his first 2 service games. Sampras at 40 love.
A lot of people don't give Pete Sampras enough credit that he's a smart player. They say, oh, he's got a big serve and he's got a big forehand. He thinks out there. He has a lot of different shots, and he has to use them at times. He's an all-court player. He plays well under pressure, and he really thinks what he's trying to do every time he steps on the court. He scouts his opponents.
Double fault from Sampras. Makes it 40-15, his first double.
Now he's serving into the sun, and it's not so bad on the first serve because your toss is out in the middle of the court, out in front. But when you're kicking it on the second serve, that's going to go right into the sun.
Mentioned they've played only once before. Sampras won that match in straight sets on hard courts at Hanover, Germany. Went on to win that tournament. And so Sampras holds easily again and leads 2-1 here in the first set.
Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse know how to play on and off the court. Carla Overbeck took a year off at the height of her career to have a baby. Sammy Sosa has built an impressive home run resume, as well as a children's health clinic in his hometown. There's a time for sport and a time for life. Here's to those who know the difference.
We have two different command accounts because our investment strategies are slightly different.
I'm more aggressive. I like to take long shots.
I'm a bit more conservative. So we can compare at the end of each month when we get our command account statement, and then we can argue and fight about it.
Disagree.
We demand service. We demand quality.
I wouldn't say we're demanding about that. For heaven's sake, that's not demanding service. We just expect it.
This is not a commercial, it's a sitcom.
Max Driscoll, age 79. Widower since 1993. Alone. Solitary. Then he got email. Connect and create something. Bell South.
Yeah, you can see the score. Sampras on serve, 2-1 up with Kuerten serving. Now Gustavo serving into the sun. Oh.
Love.
That's a good open court forehand from Kuerten.
15 love.
Able to run around his backhand, set up. And I talk about turning the shoulder so much, but watch it. See the rotation he gets right from the, that's where he gets a lot of his power and placement from that shoulder turn. Foot fault was called on that one. You'll see Gustavo drag his back foot up pretty close to the line. He'll get called every once in a while for that.
Just long on the backhand side.
I was talking to Gustavo's coach, Laurie Pasos, and he was saying he's not worried about Pete Sampras because the conditions really favored Gustavo Kuerten, because there's Laurie right now. It's hot. It's not a gusty wind, but every once in a while you get that wind shot, so it's going to affect your serving toss, and that's going to affect the serve of Pete Sampras. Another big factor is the heat, the humidity. Pete Sampras isn't considered a fit player. His points normally last so short with the big serve and the big ground strokes. Gustavo feels he has an edge in the fitness category in this best-of-5 set match. The only time they played was in Hanover. That was indoors where the conditions were controlled on a fast carpet court.
It's long on the return. Sampras going for it. 30-all.
This is what you call cheap points. When you throw in that first serve and Pete Sampras just goes for it, trying to end the point quickly.
Wide. Good play from Kuerten. Getting down low and keeping it deep. 40-30. Sampras knocks it out. 40-30. Point from 2-all in this first set. Best-of-5 championship final. Kuerten 16-6 this year. A victory at Santiago on the clay. Made the semis in Bogota. Good pass from Sampras. Big forehand to Deuce.
Tim, if you're going to go to the Pete Sampras forehand, you better put some juice on it, because the forehand from Pete Sampras is deadly. He drives through the ball. The depth on it. Not a lot of topspin, but it's driven with force.
Luke, you and I watched the Leighton Hewitt match, and Sampras early in that match had some trouble finding the range with his forehand, but it got better as the match went on. He had it when he needed it in the third.
Athletic ability from the American Pete Sampras. Chipping and charging. He said he was going to be aggressive, and it's a big point early in this match. Taking the second serve return, chipping and charging.
First break point of the match goes to Pete Sampras.
That's a good open court shot for Gustavo Kuerten.
It is.
The ball had no pace on it, so Gustavo had to generate everything. Shoulders are turned once again. He steps up to the ball, and this is where he accelerates. Watch the knee bend, and watch this. Boom! Good acceleration.
Ladies in Brazil are glad he's got his curls back. That's
he
how
shaved his head last year. That's right.
Yeah. Hit on the forehand. Another break point.
What's the difference between the earlier forehand where he hit it for a winner and that one? He just didn't set up in time. Remember, you have to be quick around the baseline, and that ball was just starting to set up, and he didn't take one extra step. Think about the small adjustment steps when you're about to hit the ball. Jimmy Connors was a god at that.
Sampras comes in. That's long. Nice idea from Kuerten, but he has suffered the break here. Sampras goes to 3-1 in the break here in the first set. Best of 5 championship match.
Pete Sampras is doing exactly what he set out to do, to try to put pressure on the Brazilian Kuerten. He volleys well and forces Kuerten up to the net where he doesn't feel comfortable, and now the early break. You can hear the cries from Brazil up in the rafters, screaming for Guga. Now here comes the second serve. Now the confidence with Pete Sampras. This guy's a front runner. Once he draws blood from a victim, he starts to really lay the lumber down. 105 miles an hour on that second serve.
Just back. Still a lot of empty seats in the sold-out stadium, and that's because we were informed about an hour ago that there was a traffic accident on the causeway over from Miami, so they were reduced to 1 lane. People will be coming in here for quite some time.
Well, there's only one way in and out on this key.
Good news is it's the best of 5 for those fans. There's a good pass from Kuerten. Sampras got his racket on it, but couldn't get it back.
Well, this is a problem Pete Sampras has in the humidity. As we see this replay, doesn't put enough stick on his volley. Gustavo's favorite passing shot going down the line. But at the end of this, you see Pete looking at his hand. He doesn't like wristbands. He doesn't like when he hits a ball and the wristband kind of slides down his hand. So he has to deal consistently with the sweat pouring down to his hand and onto his grip.
There's an ace. Number 2 from Sampras. 30-15.
He's tried sawdust. He's tried rosin. Different things. What he's basically come down to is just using his shirt to dry himself off around the wrist, around the hand, and then changing his grip on every changeover.
Well, and you can see him taking some off those bushy eyebrows that actually help him hold at least some of it from going into his eyes. It'll be hot and humid all day long here.
That's what I hate myself, playing in the humidity, that I can't grip the racket. I like playing in the hot sun and the humid conditions, but when you can't hang onto the racket, you hit double faults like that. When you can't grip the racket, can't feel the fine art and tune your racket the way you want when you want to hit the slices and the topspin kick serve.
Now, he's going for a new racket. He may have broken the spring on that serve as well. Also takes the opportunity to grab a towel.
See, you can see just the sweat coming down his arms. under his grip. And as soon as the Brazilian fans feel that there's any kink in the Sampras armor, they're going to lean on him. They're going to lean on Pete Sampras and start screaming, "Guga."
30 all. Rapidly becoming as big as Ronaldo, the famous soccer player down there. They know each other, and Guga's reaching that kind of adulation level in his home country of Brazil. Oh, another beautiful backhand pass.
Pistol Pete only going 109 miles an hour wide, but he doesn't break it out wide enough. So Gustavo Kuerten is still in the dark green, makes a nice return low, forcing the weak half volley, and this is money.
Break point for Kuerten, his first of the match, having just been broken by Sampras. Too good a serve from Sampras, saves the break point.
And that's a tough ball because the wind took it and it dropped elevation, almost like turbulence in an airplane. So he had to adjust. Instead of hitting an overhead, Pete Sampras went to the high forehand volley. No. That's the type of serve we were talking about in that last Beach point. He didn't get it out that wide. It's not the pace with that wide one. It's the placement.
Perfect placement, 106 miles an hour on the second serve.
It's a different type of sound, too. He's cutting across the ball instead of hitting it square. Instead of a big thud, you hear like a brushing sound when you're going for that slice.
Sampras a point from 4-1. And a break here in the first set. There's the one down the middle. We'll return to Key Biscayne, Florida, and the Ericsson Open after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
4 games to 1.
And now a short lesson in sign language.
What's going on here?
It's the language, Jerry.
She had man hands.
He's a regifter.
She's a two-face. She's got the Jimmy legs.
He's a limbo.
Mulva.
Shrinkage. Yada, yada, yada.
Pink eye, brook eye.
Sign language. Hope for the comically challenged. Tomorrow at 6 on Fox 51.
Are we finished?
Done.
Phone been disconnected? With Smoke Signal, you're back in business. No credit checks, no ID, no long waits. When you get connected with Smoke Signal, you're never off the hook. Call this number or visit your local store today.
I'm often asked what makes Jeopardy so popular. Well, I think the talented people behind the scenes are the ones who deserve most of the credit. Our producers, our director, our team of writers and researchers, and of course our amazing contestants who make Jeopardy the phenomenon it is. I don't know the answers to all the questions, but I do know the difference between Mark Twain and Shania Twain. Hey, it's not just a game, it's Jeopardy!
Tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox 51.
Tim Ryan with Luke Jensen, Pam Oliver here at the Ericsson Open Men's Championship Final live. Gustavo Kuerten serving at 1-4 down a break. Missing the pass there as Sampras returned deep to the line. Of 15.
And there's the Achilles heel of Pete Sampras, getting the ball on a kick second serve or a ground stroke high to the backhand of Pete Sampras. He doesn't have much power there or control.
15 all. Service to the body from Kuerten, 30-15.
30-15.
Kuerten in 1999 had an excellent year. He finished ranked number 5 in the world with a record of 50 wins, 25 defeats. Made the quarterfinals at the French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. And he's getting better and better on hard courts. That's wide.
Well, he reached the quarters last year at Wimbledon, losing to Andre Agassi, the finalist in 1999. He's done well on hard courts on all surfaces indoors. With that big serve, he's up to this point. He's served 34 aces in this tournament. He's accomplished in the serving game, and that's going to give you free points on any surface.
Chip in charge, and it's long from Sampras.
40-30.
40-30, Kuerten.
But Pete is making the right shots. Okay, he just misses that long, but he's keeping the point short. That takes the fitness out of play. He doesn't want to get in long rallies, as we see Paul Annacone, the coach and hitting partner for Pete Sampras, devise a game plan before every match.
He rushed it. Kuerten trying to get to that open court, knocked it long. That's a deuce.
Well, that's what happens when you get a well-struck ball from Pete Sampras deep into the court, and Gustavo takes these big wind-ups that he's so used to on clay, where the ball sets up. On hard court, it kills you. It skids.
All of his 6 titles in his career have come on the clay. He's really been working hard on the hard court. He came in here 1-3 and has done awfully well in this tournament. Obviously, 5 victories, getting him to this championship match.
Pete Sampras doing it now from the ground strokes. You know you're really playing the best player in the world when he starts to click, especially off the ground in the forehand. Boom! See how he jumps forward into the shot towards his target, not falling backwards, not falling to the side. Fall into your target zone.
Break point for 5-1. Oh, nice touch there from Kuerten. Back to deuce.
Now this works because of the disguise. Gustavo Kuerten sets up for the big ground. As you see, okay, you're on your heels if you're Pete Sampras, and then right at the end, he cups under it. Little feather, nice winner. Pete Sampras driving the backhand instead of looping it back. He sees the opening down the line. He plants himself and then accelerates through the hit zone, giving himself another break point.
No chance for that. Wrong footing him and breaking again to 5-1.
Now, with Pete Sampras setting up to serve out this first set at 5-1, watch the difference between the slice serve. That's the slicer. Here's the big cannon. See that thud? The difference is when you're hitting the slice serve, you're going with the edge of the racket. When you're hitting that big thudding first serve, you open the face and hit it square.
You can definitely hear the difference in the sound, and especially the thunder from Sampras's flat serve.
Now the racket head speed is the same. There's another slice serve. All you're doing is hitting, as he hits his 5th ace of this match, is hitting a corner, a fraction of that serve to get that slice to make it break. But when you open the face and you're bringing down the truck, you're opening it and hitting it with a huge thundering thud.
103 miles an hour on that sliced one, but his placement perfect. 15 love. Sampras serving for the first set. Remember, this is a best-of-5 championship match for this Tennis Masters Series event.
Gustavo Kuerten doing the right thing on the return of serve, shortening up the backswing and then hitting it to a target. This time he decides to give himself a large margin for error, so he decides to go right down the middle, jamming Pete Sampras.
This is one of 9 of the Tennis Masters Series events. 4 of them are outdoor hard courts. They played at Indian Wells, The two remaining after this one, Toronto and Cincinnati. Then they'll move to the clay courts of Europe. Let service.
Watch Pete Sampras on this first serve just coil up and then explode into the ball. Starts out on his back foot and then gets momentum pushing up into the shot. Nice knee bend, good torque with the shoulders, and then a big snap of the wrist. That's a second serve at 106 miles an hour. The front runner, Pete Sampras, right now.
30-50.
Leaning on Kuerten.
Again, that perfect placement. Wide, right to the line. Kicking away from him, his 6th ace. 30-15. Just the same thing the other way.
No, you got the two-minute break
40,
right after
50.
the set. If he can close it out. But the rhythm is so good. And he's not talking about I lift weights and I'm the most powerful guy out there and that's why I serve aces. He always talks about rhythm and a groove. A good toss right where he wants it for that serve. And he comes through.
2 set points for Sampras. 3 consecutive aces, and Pete Sampras has the first set against the number 6 seed here, Gustavo Kuerten of Brazil.
Interactive pages, 5 separate email addresses, 2 fully functioning websites, 160 TV channels,
oh, we're so glad you could join us, sir.
4 cell phones, and just 1 rule. Not at the dinner table. Connect and create something. Bell South.
Everyone moves to their own music. Give your callers their own personal ring so you can always hear them coming. The Ericsson T18 with musical caller ID. Ericsson.
Back in Miami, let's join Luke Jensen with Håkan Retzel.
Ericsson is not a stranger to big-time tennis. He sponsored the French Open, the Italian Open, and now a major sponsor of this Ericsson Open.
The Ericsson Open is definitely a crown jewel in the tennis industry. This is the 5th largest tennis tournament in the world. Together with the Copa Ericsson, the ATP Challenger Series in Latin America, this will become a very strong vehicle for Ericsson to become a consumer brand in the US, just as we have been managing in Latin America.
Well, Ericsson is a Swedish company, and we know the Swedes have been dominating men's tennis for many years. Borg, Edberg, Wilander, and now you're ready to dominate the telecommunications industry. How are you going to do that via tennis?
Tennis really attracts our target segments in the marketplace. We also know that the product portfolio that we're currently launching is going to give us a complete restart throughout the Americas. Our new marketing activities, for sure, this fits very well into those ambitions.
Well, good luck in the future years.
All right, Luke. Gustavo Kuerten serving to open the second set, down a set, and love 15.
Pete Sampras charging once again, getting in tight to the net, forcing the issue. This really reminds me of the old McEnroe-Lendl battle when Johnny Mack used to take the second serve and smash and crash and come in and force the baseliner Ivan Lendl into passing shot airs. Gustavo Kuerten likes to dictate on his own terms from the baseline. He doesn't want to be pushed around.
Well, that's one answer. Come up with an ace. That's his second.
15-30.
It's 116 miles an hour. But does he have the ability to do it consistently? Because if he misses that shot, we've already seen Pete Sampras put the pressure on him off the return side.
Sampras in again. And there's the pass from Kuerten. 30 all.
15-40.
No, he missed that one. He missed it wide.
Oh, it's wide.
Yeah, double break point.
My mistake. Thought he had it. Close call, but out. There's another look at it. And indeed, it's out. So double break point for Sampras here. Opening game, second set.
Pete Sampras just feeling it on the second serve return. Not giving Kuerten any angle to pass. And Gustavo comes up with his money backhand down the line, but still down break point.
You do. Sampras gives that a second look, but the call stands, and he's back to deuce.
One of the few bad errors off the backhand wing Pete Sampras has hit. Caught late with that backhand return, and it floats wide, floats long.
Kuerten can ill afford to be broken here in the first game of this second set. And a good battle back by him. A pair of aces in the game. He holds to 1-love here in the second. Sampras won the first set 6-1. Fox Monday. The critics are raving about the new hit comedy Titus, calling it darkly funny, hilariously edgy, and laugh out loud funny. Brace yourself for an all-new Titus tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., 7:30 Central on Fox. Gustavo Kuerten.
Thank you. Ready for play.
Holding there despite 2 break points held by Sampras in game 1 of the second set. Sampras now try to even things up.
It's going to be important for Kuerten to return well in this set to make a dent into the Pete Sampras service games. Want the set one summary, and it's the unforced errors. 13 winners for Pete Sampras to only 7 unforced errors. That means the dictator is dictating in this match.
15-love Sampras here, game 2, second set.
I want to see Gustavo do more with the second serve return now. He's trying to just to make Sampras play a volley, and that's not working. That's it. Perfect. You have to take some chances. You lost the first set 6-1. You got a 90-mile-an-hour second serve. Go out after it. In the semifinals, Pete Sampras played, as we watch this backhand return, that's his best shot going down the line. Explosive backhand. Boom. But it was Leighton Hewitt that started to put some pepper on the returns that gave Pete Sampras some problems.
Yeah, there's the sky hook there from Sampras.
Call that the monster jam.
30-15.
He is the Shaq Diesel of the tennis world.
30-15. He loves climbing up there and going for that.
Okay, as he split steps and then he explodes.
Leighton Hewitt returned one of those for a winner, and Sampras made a point after saying, well, I'll try it again, hope to get one in the final. Well, he's got it.
Well, Pete Sampras could dunk a basketball, but he has small hands. You know, he just can't seem to palm the ball and try to get it in the bucket. But he has those ups, man. He can jump.
40-15 Sampras. Wide from Kuerten, having to chase from corner to corner, and Sampras is even at 1 here on serve in the second set.
And you can see the body language from Gustavo Kuerten. He said he's going side to side. I'm running side to side. Well, Pete Sampras is really picking on the forehand of Gustavo Kuerten on the return side. He's serving to Gustavo's forehand, pulling him off the court, and then volleying to the open court. Great fast court play from Pete Sampras.
Good deep serve, pulling Sampras wide.
Gustavo's first serve percentage for this match is 55%. And for him to really start putting a dent into Pete Sampras, I'd like to try to get that up to 60.
There's the touch again from Gustavo Kuerten.
And you just can't read that because he's coming up with that big wind up. And then right at the last minute, he changes the face of the racket. See, he's ready to hit it and then gets right underneath the ball. The touch.
After the Agassi match, they asked him if he had gained confidence playing in this hard court tournament. He said, I had match point against me in my first round, so I could be very far from here already. Meaning back in Brazil. And lob will be wide.
He'll be back in Florianopolis catching some waves.
Instead, he's here in the final against Pete Sampras. He does have a flight scheduled early this evening back to Brazil to get ready for Davis Cup action next week. Brazil plays the Slovak Republic.
That's right. It's a tough match, too.
You got it. No, they call it wide. Late call, but wide. The linesman behind Sampras. And
too close. Too close.
Questioning it, but chair umpire always says too close.
Now this ball was good because we have the ability to look at the mark, and these hard courts will leave marks. The thing is, the umpire can't use those marks like he does on clay. See, just skimming the line.
Wide from Sampras, having to reach back if he got wrong footed. Is at 40-15.
See, in junior tennis, those balls would be out too, but, you know, in professional tennis, those ones on the line, they're good. You know, you got to call those ones good on the line.
Big ace from Kuerten is third. And we're on serve. 2-1 Kuerten, second set. Now here's what's at stake, this beautiful crystal trophy, emblematic of the Ericsson Open Men's Championship.
Hi, I'm Luke Jensen, Stadium Court at the Ericsson Open. Now, tennis and Ericsson have a lot more in common than you may think. Check this out.
In order to succeed in tennis, you've got to have a well-rounded game. Power, mobility, coverage, dominate the net.
Yeah!
Power can devastate your competition. Mobility puts you in position. Coverage gets you where you need to be. The complete player, however, must also dominate the net. Ericsson, leading the world in wireless technology.
Stuart Kobach, hopeless dreamer, hapless entrepreneur. Kobach and Company went bust after 2 years. The Kobach partnership lasted all of 6 months. 1-800-CALL-KOBACH never even got off the ground. His latest pipe dream, Kobach.com. How's it doing? It's hanging in there. Connect and create something. Bell South.
What could cause two boys
We didn't do anything!
to have such disregard for authority?
I fully intend to pay.
Malcolm in the Middle, all new, 8:30, 7:30 Central tonight.
Pete Sampras serving at 1-2 here in the second set. He won the first 6 games to 1. The Brazilian crowd coming alive here between games, trying to exhort Gustavo Kuerten, their hero. And he himself says it's not just the Brazilians who live in the Miami area, some of whom have come here from the match, others who live here. But he said also all of the Latin American fans. They just kind of embrace him because he's representing their continent. Well, they hit that
Oh, Lepempe played here. He's from Ecuador. There's a big following. 40% of the crowd that comes through the gates here is from South America. This is almost like the adopted championship, the Grand Slam for South America. People really freak out. 2 years ago when Marcelo Rios gained the #1 ranking winning this tournament, there's a big Chilean following here. And they paint their faces and bring the flags and go absolutely nuts. Great for tennis.
Oh, yeah, it adds a lot of color and excitement to the matches. And if Guga can just get a little run going here, you'll hear from them. But Sampras can quiet the crowd with an ace.
Well, you can't read that. The serve is so, it's 124, but look, you can't read this as a professional. What you're trying to do is read the toss. Both arms are up at the same time. He doesn't have any hitches with the racket, and then he explodes in the right position. So as a returner, you're frozen guessing to the backhand or forehand, and it's too late when he decides to pick the forehand side.
30-love second serve, Sampras.
Second serve.
Down on the paint for Ouellette.
At least this is a different type of play. You're down 30-love in the game. If you're Gustavo Kuerten,
40-love.
Try something different. Give the guy another look. He loses the point, but hey, trying something different. Go to another type of game plan.
Jammed him again. That was effective early in the first set for Sampras, and he holds it love. 2-all second set.
2 games on.
Sampras with a set in hand. $410,000 in prize money goes to the winner, and the runner-up. Not a bad payday. 215 grand and 100 valuable points in the ATP Champions race will go to the champion here today.
The World Championship in Lisbon, moving from Hanover, Germany.
Beautiful venue and a beautiful country. Lisbon, Portugal, end of the season. Tennis Masters Series. That's right on the line, and even though Kuerten gives it a bit of a cursory look, he didn't make the shot back.
Well, what do you do if you're Gustavo Kuerten? Well, number one, you got to get that first serve in, take a little bit off, and then start moving Pete Sampras around from the ground.
Love 15 on serve, second set.
Double fault. And that's a pressure double fault. Gustavo knows that Pete's going to be slicing and dicing, trying to get to the net, taking that ball early. And so Gustavo's trying to serve it nice and deep, close to that line, and he pushes it long. I think Gustavo's dealing with the sun on that end.
And missing with his backhand pass.
Now this is a different type of chip return from Pete Sampras. Instead of really knifing it nice and firm deep, he almost lobs it deep. This gives him a little bit more time, 1 or 2 more steps closer to the net.
3 break points.
First serve.
Sloppy game on service here for Kuerten. It's been costly, seeing the pressure of Sampras on every point.
Watch Pete tee off on this one.
Well, he sliced it back, and Kuerten found an opening.
Well, he had to thread the needle because by Pete Sampras chipping to the middle of the court, this gives Kuerten no angle. So he has to create his own angle, and he slides this one cross court. But that's so much pressure when you got Pete Sampras breathing down your net coming to the net.
He's done it on every point. 15-40. Meaning the Brazilians simply got to get those first serves in. Here comes Sampras again. Great forehand there.
The speed and agility from Kuerten to dash out to the forehand wing and whip it cross court. Because Sampras was in total control at this point. Here's the backhand pass. Nice volley, just not deep enough. And the whipper cross court.
2 break points saved. That's long. Sampras in again. And it pays off. And a fifth pump from Sampras. He has a break here in the second and a set in hand. 3-2 Sampras in the second set. We'll return to Miami and the Ericsson Open after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
When people come on wheel, they sort of lose control. I mean, sometimes they really get carried away.
Sometimes you get carried away, too.
You never know what'll happen when people start spinning out of control.
But that's what everyone loves about wheel.
Easy for you to say.
Wheel of Fortune. Give it a spin.
Tomorrow at 7 on Fox 51.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I did snow and rain and the bright sunshine. Dragging the line, dragging the line.
Pete Sampras with a break now at 3-2 in the second. He won the first set 6-1. Gustavo Kuerten, the 23-year-old from Brazil, in a bind here, trying to find a way to turn this back around, and Sampras not letting up. Backhand volley winner, 15-9.
Yeah, when you only lose 7 points on serve, and it's a combination of big first serves, but his ability to really juice that second serve and place it right where he wants it. And he's been aiming a lot of those serves to the forehand of Gustavo Kuerten. And that has a lot of junk on it. It's not only bad and ugly, that thing's got bite. It's jumping around, so even if you had a handle on it, it's going to shake your handle and shake the racket. Maybe only an Agassi type of guy can return that, and he dominates Agassi when he's serving well, like he did at the World Championships last year in Hanover.
10th ace for Sampras. Another blast at 127. 40 love. Kuerten can't return that. 40 love.
This really is a work of art by Pete Sampras. If you want to watch maybe the greatest player of all time play, an all-court type of player who can play from the ground, who can serve and volley, Pete Sampras at his finest right now. Playing good, consistent, great tennis.
That body language, too, indicating the confidence he's feeling right now. Little things he does when he's ready to serve, more sharper. And you just know that he's in control. He can feel it.
Mannerisms, yeah.
Again, Sampras.
And he holds readily at love. 4-2 here in the second up a set.
Sampras leads 4 games to 2.
We watch the aces from Pete Sampras now. A good little graphic. Pistol Pete. That's one's wide. Down the middle. You just can't read it. That thing's right there in neutral position, and you don't know if he's going wide to the body or for that big cannon opener.
And here he chips and charges, and it pays off again.
Well, this has been the big wrinkle that Paul Annacone has put into the Pete Sampras game plan, and he wants to try to do this for sure on clay when the clay court season starts in the next month. There's Paul Annacone. This guy was a smasher and crasher in his day.
You know, Pete Sampras made a point in a magazine article. He says Paul deserves more credit than he gets, even more so than Brad Gilbert with Agassi.
Well, everyone will say, well, it's so easy to coach Pete Sampras. You just open up the can of balls and you get him a towel and a drink and say, hey, go and win a match and win Wimbledon. But it's not that simple. There are guys going at Pete Sampras all the time.
Tim Ryan, Luke Jensen, and Pam Oliver. We're live on Fox here at the Ericsson Open in Miami, Florida, one of the Tennis Masters Series events. Men's championship final, best of 5. And Sampras in control at this point, 6-1, 4-2. Gustavo Kuerten of Brazil. And did he get that?
They sure did.
Yes, he did. A beautiful lob from Kuerten.
So to finish my thought with Paul Annacone, so when you see Pete Sampras chipping and charging and being aggressive, that's really due to Paul Annacone pushing his top player to move forward to keep points short.
In game. And Kuerten holds to 4-3 here in the second. That's how we stand at the Ericsson. Sampras in front.
Since the mall opened just out of town, Charlie Tucker has had a hard time selling anything around here. Good thing he signed that distribution deal with Asia and Latin America. Connect and create something. Bell South.
It seems like they were thinking about it from the beginning.
In the 1930s, they built their first safety test vehicle.
In '51, they patented front and rear crumple zones.
In 1960, they patented their safety steering system.
And pioneered anti-lock brakes in '78.
In 1997, they built a more crash-compatible SUV.
Now they have vehicles with 8 airbags.
Because one thing has always been most important.
Get your tailgate party ready for Fox's Homecoming game.
Do we have any food that wasn't brutally slaughtered?
The veal might have died of loneliness.
The Simpsons, tonight at 8 on Fox.
Pete Sampras has been to the net 45 times at 84 points and won 32 of them. So the game plan you referred to has not only been a consistent part of his game today, but it's been an effective part.
Now, when you're going to the net that much, you have to be efficient. You have to consistently make your returns and make your first and second serves, or it doesn't work. He has to go to game plan B.
We talked about him rounding into form over the course of this tournament. Well, he is in razor sharp form here in the championship when it matters most.
30 love. This is the record of Pete Sampras in finals. Now, you've had to at least get to 10 finals in your career. Thomas Muster, mainly a dirt dog at 44-11. Pete Sampras, but a big match player. Last year, the finals of Wimbledon, knocked off Andre Agassi, tuned him. Finals of the World Championships in Hanover, beat Agassi, tuned him. Somehow was able to lift his game. And in the semifinals, Pete Sampras was playing spotty.
40 love.
But look at this final. Lights out. 5-0 in finals last year in 1999. But it's that ability of great athletes, Jordan, that can really lift their game to the next level. Gretzky.
Just too big a serve there, 125. And another easy service game victory for Pete Sampras, who's now 5-3 in the second set. So Gustavo Kuerten trying to figure out a way to somehow get himself back into this. Here at the Ericsson Open. Now most of the crowd has arrived. We mentioned a traffic accident held up a lot of them. They missed much of the first set due to that.
Now, the fans have been treated to a great event the last 2 weeks. The men and women together. We had #1 and #2 in the world playing against each other in the women's final. The big screens out there to see all the daily play, even in the food court if you're not at a match.
30 love.
That's long. But even today, as we mentioned at the top of the program, they sold ground passes today because they couldn't accommodate more than the 14,000 in the stadium itself, and they've got thousands more out watching on those big screens. 30 love Kuerten. Wide.
30-15.
Double fault his second.
Big time tennis has become more than just a tennis match. It's an event. You really have to go. It's like the Super Bowl, the World Series. So much surrounding the tennis matches.
Oh, a rare error on the backhand side when it's in a strike zone. So maybe a little frustration at work here for Kuerten. 30 all. And with due cause. We mentioned 32 times Sampras comes to the net out of 45 successfully. Here he is again. And again, he comes up with it.
Well, Gustavo is not making many unforced errors. Look, 6 unforced errors to 14 winners. So if you looked at that stat and you're going, oh my, he's got to be winning this match. But then you flip it over and all of a sudden you have the greatest player of all time, Pete Sampras, 22 winners to 10 unforced errors. That's blitzkrieg. That's George Patton in a tennis outfit.
Dude. Well, early on that one it looked like. A rare mistake for Sampras today. Back to deuce.
Yeah, Gustavo's just getting beat up. I mean, you can really see that. His facial, his court manner is just, he's defeated. I don't want to say he's defeated. He's still hanging in there. He's got to add point right now to make Sampras serve it out in the second set. But it's Pete Sampras' ball is so heavy and so quick that Gustavo Kuerten can't do anything with it. From the ground, he hasn't been able to come to the net too much. He doesn't even like coming to the net.
Well, nor can he draw on a lot of experience against Sampras either, having a lot of time to learn. He's only played 2 sets against him. He lost those. And Hanover.
Advantage Kuerten.
Now he's got a game point here to get to 5-4 in the second set.
Now, if he can hold, though, on the bright side, he is only down 1 break. And in the semifinals, Pete Sampras really lost his rhythm against Leighton Hewitt. And all of a sudden, the wheels kind of came off the track.
And he does hold to 5-4. Sampras will serve for the second set. And a 2-set lead in this best of 5 Ericsson Open Championship when we return.
It's easy to feel lost in technology. Now there's advanced technology that's easy to use. The Ericsson A1228. Simple is powerful. Ericsson.
Jenny Sanchez, age 17. She's got her mother's eyes. She's got her infectious laugh. She's got her loving nature, which is why her father got her a cell phone.
Dad, I'm just hanging out.
Connect and create something. Bell South.
Tim Ryan, Luke Jensen, Pam Oliver here in Miami at the Ericsson Open. Pete Sampras serving for the second set at 5-4 against Gustavo Kuerten of Brazil, the number 6 seed. Sampras seeded number 2. Kuerten eliminated the top seed Andre Agassi in one of the semifinals.
Now this was the hiccup I was telling you about. If Gustavo is hung in there, he's just down a break. Pete's at the wheel to serve out the second set. Best of 5 set match. This is where Gustavo needs to take some chances.
Third double by Sampras against 12 aces.
Pete is serving right into the sun. This is going to be a difficult second serve. That's okay. You went for it. You took it. You had the green light. The ball was up in your strike zone. You went for it. Still 15 all. You have to make Pistol Pete feel the pressure right now.
Huge 125 down the tee. 30-15. 30-15.
Great concentration from Pete Sampras, playing at his own tempo.
Got it.
Guga lets go right down the middle with that return of serve. And Pete doesn't do enough with the forehand volley. Kind of jams him, but here's the backhand pass. Accelerate. See how the ball just jumped off his racket.
30 all. Oh, great forehand return. Break point, Kuerten.
Finally, Guga clocks one off the forehand wing. And Pete's been really working that forehand wing over. It's a nice serve, right on the line, but Guga's there with those long arms.
Here comes the chant, Guga, Guga. Hasn't given them much to cheer about so far. Every opportunity for them to get involved, they'll take, and that's good for him.
Thank you.
Thank you. You go for it here with a big one?
No, three-quarter kick and get in.
He got it.
Pete Sampras goes for the meat and potatoes. Second serve kick. Get in, try to hit a volley, but the return's right at his shoelaces. He's in a defensive position, volleys up. See how he's right on top of the ball as Gustavo. Then he sets up, and he doesn't know. Right at the last minute, topspin lob for the winner.
Sampras broke for 3-2 in this set. Kuerten has broken back there on serve.
Players are ready.
Just missed.
Sampras just aching to get to the net, to take control of this match, of each point. And Gustavo just scrambling around the baseline with his quick feet.
About 15 at 5 all. Second set. Well, he got that to the finish line. And Sampras jumped on it again, and certainly every chance. I haven't seen Pete be this aggressive, certainly in this tournament. He's just coming and coming with every possible opportunity.
Well, every time he sees blood in the water, and that's what I mean by that is there's a short ball. Gustavo just doesn't drive this backhand deep enough. Short ball, Pete's going to jump on it, chip and charge.
Love 30, door open for Sampras. And a big ace when he needed it from Kuerten, his fourth.
125 miles an hour, right down the Texas T-bone.
Sampras said after the match against Leighton Hewitt, talking to the press, that he didn't want to stay back and rally with this guy. He said that's his game. He's good at it. I respect that. I'm going to try and get in and make things happen. Well, he's delivered that so far. What an angle. Great angle from Kuerten to 30 all.
It's that transition game when the ball is short to be able to create that angle. And it's so tough with a one-handed backhand. With the two, you have that extra hand to really snap it off like Andre Agassi would. But the backhand with one hand is tough. But he gets under it, great leverage, good extension with the follow-through.
Good serve from Kuerten. A little extra on that. 30.
And just a couple minutes ago, we're talking about the great Pete Sampras just leaning on the Brazilian. And if you don't close the door on these guys, I mean, Gustavo Kuerten's a top 10 player in the world, the former French Open champion. This guy can play. You got to shut him down.
Another great angle. Backhand, and Kuerten holds to 6-5 here in the second. Sampras won the first set. We'll return after these messages and a word from your local station.
I'm often asked what makes Jeopardy so popular. Well, I think the talented people behind the scenes are the ones who deserve most of the credit. Our producers, our director, our team of writers and researchers, and of course our amazing contestants who make Jeopardy the phenomenon it is. I don't know the answers to all the questions, but I do know the difference between Mark Twain and Shania Twain. Hey, it's not just a game, it's Jeopardy!
Tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox 51.
Can't get enough ribs? Come on down to Sonny's for all the barbecue pork ribs you can eat. With fresh-made French fries, coleslaw, and garlic bread. It's Sonny's Rib Lovers Feast. All-you-can-eat ribs for a limited time. You just can't do ribs better than Sonny's. Yummy.
Sounded like some sort of party going on.
It's the late night Fox 51 party. Hang with Homer at 11.
Rock and roll all night and party every day.
Then Sally smoking at 11:30.
Oh, mama, walk that around.
Whoa, that Dick's a super freak.
Kind you don't take home to mother.
Join the late night Fox 51 party tomorrow from 11 to midnight. Cause you can't go to bed without a party.
I like it.
Well, the crowd is into it now. We've had Googa Googa, and we've had Let's Go Pete during the changeover. Sampras serving.
We love him
15 at 5-6 here in the second set.
Please do not disturb the players during the point.
And you could hear someone scream out right before Pete was about to hit that forehand volley. And that's the type of crowd you have to deal with when you're playing in South America. They have air horns sometimes between first and second serves. And you have to keep your concentration focused on the ball, on your game plan.
15 on.
Pete Sampras only got that one first serve in his last service game when he served for the second set. That's what killed him. He needs a high percentage of first serves in. Just missing wide.
13-15.
But Kuga is starting to really sit on that forehand return and induce side. See, he's there behind the ball, racket's back, picks his target and just misfires.
30-15 Sampras.
You can hear the crowd still talking and chanting. Remember, that's the South American feel and flavor.
Guga thought that was wide.
And Pete's doing the right thing. Just play through it. You stop and ask the umpire to quiet him down, and you're asking for a lot of trouble.
14 aces now for Sampras. 40-15. What a shot. Low ball didn't come up. He just made a great move at it.
13. He was able to reach. His feet were planted in the baseline. Guga was able to reach for that one. The volley doesn't go deep. It's a little short and lunges.
40-30. Sampras a point from the tie break here in the second. Couldn't get to that. Well placed by Sampras. And we're into the tie break, second set. Sampras won the first set 6-1.
It's so important when you're playing this tiebreaker. Mentally, you want to get a lot of first serves in. If you're Gustavo Kuerten, you want to try to pinpoint the backhand of Pete Sampras and continue to dictate with that big first serve, and then off the ground, push Pete around. Now, if you're Pete Sampras, continue to do what's been working. Attack the second serve.
Kuerten's been in 4 tie breaks in the tournament, won 3 of them. He will desperately need to win one here. Doesn't want to fall too down to Pete Sampras in a championship.
That's a good serve from Gustavo Kuerten. Instead of kicking it to the backhand of Pete Sampras, where he's waiting with that grip to slice and come in, he decides to go out to the forehand wing. It's very dangerous to go there, because that's Pete's best shot off the ground. But he forces an error from the pistol.
1-0 Kuerten. Next 2 serves to Sampras, and then they alternate 2 the rest of the way. First to 7 points, you must win by 2. That's great stuff. Both players, with Sampras commanding the net.
But I give the momentum edge right at this point in the match to Gustavo Kuerten. It seems like he's making Pete play a lot of balls. That's 1 volley. This is 2 volleys. See how he's having a sprint side to side, and this is the type of match that Gustavo wanted to get Pete into, a fitness battle. That's why this set is so important for both players. See the difference there? Pete took a lot off that serve to break it out wide. Gustavo deep in the court to return that, trying to get the ball low, and Pete couldn't handle the half volley.
Mini break for Kuerten. 2-1.
There's Paul Anico, Pete Sampras' coach, does a lot of scouting, does a lot of reporting during the matches, writing down little notes.
Yes, the pass. Sampras charging. Kuerten perfectly delivered backhand pass.
The approach was a little short, but not too bad. And earlier, Gustavo was missing this. This actually approach was real short. Gustavo up to it. Racket was back. Picks his shot and goes cross court.
3-1 Kuerten.
Larry Passos, coach of Guga Kuerten. Easy going guy.
Just wide, so-called, and agreed with by the chair umpire. And again, that backhand working for Kuerten, diving with pace. Sampras can't handle it with the ball.
Kuerten.
4-1 Kuerten. 2 serves to Sampras.
Remember, Gustavo Kuerten is a counter puncher. He likes to hit the passing shots. Throughout this match, Pete has been able to dominate with pace and depth. But Guga has gotten on track with the passes.
chance for Kuerten. Open court, 5-1 Kuerten. They'll change ends, having played 6 points of the tiebreak. And the Latin fans, certainly the Brazilians, enjoying this.
The body language from Kuerten as he sprints down this ball and hits the open court. He's pumped. Got like that Kramer from Seinfeld type of hair.
Curls flying as he's charging around the court here, trying to stay in this match. 2 points from evening it here at 5-1. Sampras gets one back to 5-2.
5-2. Kuerten.
But you can really see the spring in the step from the Brazilian. Bouncing around, really feeling the confidence. Whereas Pete Sampras, on the other hand, really seems a step slow. He's not he doesn't have enough conviction on his shots right now, especially off the first serve.
The status on the racket of Kuerten here. He has 2 serves coming. Sampras guessed the other way, and Kuerten was coming down the tee, and so he has himself 4 set points, make it 5.
Sampras was looking to run around the backhand to drill a forehand return, and it was Guga that went down the middle.
Another good serve down the tee, and Gustavo Kuerten has evened the match, winning the tiebreak. 7 points to 2.
1 set all. Set break.
Sampras won the first set 6-1, and we're all even in this best-of-5 championship.
Max Driscoll, age 79. Widower since 1993. Alone. Solitary. Then he got email. Connect and create something. Bell South.
And push the button. What if you're wrong? We have no option. Do you realize? I am ordering you to push that button, mister. We cannot do this.
Speak for yourself. Mercedes-Benz Client Assistance Center.
Hi, we need some directions.
No problem.
Now the Mercedes C-Class comes with TeleAid, a direct link to help, as well as regular scheduled maintenance and lots of other stress-reducing features.
Time.
Who is this guy, Gustavo Kuerten? That's what they were saying in 1997 when suddenly he was in the final at the French.
Yeah, this guy was a nobody from nowhere, and all of a sudden he knocked out Muster in route, and now he's playing Sergei Bruguera from Spain, and with big serves and quick feet and guts, he wins Roland Garros. 3 straight sets. How sweet it is.
You know that the clothing he was wearing had some of that nice Brazilian yellow in it. Well, it wasn't his choice. It was actually an outfit designed by the same manufacturer, one of his sponsors, for Kafelnikov.
That's right. That's right. And the blue shoes, the whole shot.
And he made his mark and certainly has held it since then, only improving his play. And here he is now, all even, a set apiece with Sampras. Sampras 15 love, opening the 3rd set.
This match, an hour and 20 minutes old. Pete Sampras, if I'm in his corner, I'm just telling him, continue to do what's been going on. Right now, you've had 25 winners to 17 unforced errors. Everything's fine. Your opponent's just gotten a handle on his game. Let's get the first serve percentage up a little bit. 58% right now. Concentrate on the first volley. Figure Dennis a little bit more juice with that first volley.
30 love.
Take time away from Gustavo to set up and hit those passing shots. When you just, you just bun them, I think Gustavo can use his footwork and set up and nail the passing shots. It's all about time, taking away time from your opponent to set up and hit shots.
Sampras would rather not be in this situation, having to play a 2 out of 3 now. He had 6 break point opportunities in set number 2. One of them a set point, converted only 1. That's long.
So second serve, 104 miles per hour.
30-15.
But you just get the feeling that Gustavo Kuerten is starting to read these serves a little bit better, starting to pick up what Sampras is trying to do to him, and that is to serve those seconds out wide to the forehand.
And there were moments of obvious frustration on the part of Kuerten back in the second set.
Well, he was down certainly 3-5 in the second set. He's down a set point.
40-15.
And he's battled his way back. Right in the thick of this match now.
Ace number 15 for Sampras. 40-15, opening game, third set. Tim Ryan with Luke Jensen, Pam Oliver. We are live on Fox with this Tennis Masters Series event, the Ericsson Open, live from Miami. A double fault, number 4 for Sampras. 40-30.
Well, Pete Sampras is going to play for our U.S. Davis Cup team in L.A. at the Great Western Forum. Captain John Macker, I'm sure, watching on TV. Just like he was during the Australian Open final. Actually, semi-final, I'm sorry, against Agassi.
Semi-final loss to Agassi there by Pete Sampras. That's wide from Kuerten. And Sampras holds 1-love in the third.
First game, third set.
Set apiece. Let's go down to courtside and Pam Oliver.
All right, Tim, I think you really get the sense that this crowd has really helped to give Gustavo Kuerten a big boost. He seems more energized, more focused, more willing to be out here a lot longer than Pete Sampras. Sampras talked about how he wanted to make quick work of this match, but because Gustavo Kuerten has worked his way back in it, you see Sampras taking a lot more time between points, trying to get energized and get refocused. Back to you.
Nice shades, Pam. A little South Beach look there. It's very sunny. It's very sunny and warm, as it has been all week here over on Key Biscayne, across the causeway from Miami.
Versus.
And I think that's what Pam said is exactly right. As soon as he gave them something to get into, they have responded and lifted him accordingly. Here comes Sampras again, and he got the paint.
See, Gustavo Kuerten as a counterpuncher likes the target. Now, it was working for the first set and a half for Pete Sampras, but if I'm Pete Sampras' coach, I tell him, you know, obviously there's no coaching, but I say, hey, let's try to mix it up now. Let's try to use my big forehand off the ground to start dictating and pushing. There's Paul Annacone, Pete Sampras' coach, and using a different type of game plan to attack.
Kuerten.
Well, he doesn't want to get into backhand rallies with Gustavo. He wants to try to hit that forehand as much as he can. I'm talking about Pete Sampras.
No mistake there by Kuerten. Quickly to 40 love here. Game 2 of this third set.
There's just nothing on this ball. Pete Sampras shanks it back, and then nice racket prep. Gets on top of the ball, does Gustavo, and the Brazilian nails it.
Well played game by Kuerten on serve. All even at 1 and all even in the match. Well, next Saturday, catch all the action as Fox Sports brings you the Santa Anita Derby. The best three-year-olds of the West will score off for $1 million purse live from Santa Anita Park. That Saturday, coverage begins at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, only on Fox. 15 love. 15 love, Sampras.
This match really turning into a dogfight. Sampras had a golden opportunity to go up 2 sets to love. Had everything, had the momentum, had the tempo in his corner. Gustavo able to really counterpunch his way into this match.
Sampras currently number 8 in the ATP Champions race coming into the tournament. He'll be 3rd regardless of the outcome here, having made the final. Kuerten, for his part, came in at number 26. He'll move all the way to number 6 if he wins, number 8 if he loses. So he is a top 10 player again. He finished last season number 5 in the world. 15 all.
Oh, he just misses it. But you can see Pete is just bunting the first volley. You have to get out there and you have to drill it. You can't take for granted just because you slid Guga off the court. But see, there's just nothing on that volley. It's nice and deep, but Guga was there with plenty of time to roll this thing cross court. It's almost exactly what happened in the semifinal against Leighton Hewitt. He let Leighton Hewitt back into the match.
And the Aussies would call it a walkabout.
That's right.
Same kind of thing happening here. Of course, he did come back strongly in that 3rd set against the 19-year-old from Australia. It's hit down the line a little late from Kuerten. 40-15 Sampras.
It's a dangerous time for Gustavo, too, because he does have the confidence right now, and he should really strike and try to go for a break. Make Pete Sampras play a lot of balls.
That's wide.
40-30.
40-30.
Pete Sampras deciding to go behind Gustavo with that volley, just pushing it wide, catching it late. Unforced errors. Pete Sampras with 20 now, but he does have 26 winners.
In game, Sampras.
Sampras holds on. 2 games to 1 on serve in the 3rd, a set apiece in this best-of-5 championship match. Well, even the alligators are out to find out what's going on in this championship match.
Their stories are all different, but their passion, their dreams are all the same. That's why State Farm is a proud sponsor of women's sports, because little girls have big dreams too.
Everyone moves to their own music. Give your callers their own personal ring, so you can always hear them coming. The Ericsson T18 with musical caller ID. Ericsson.
The perfect small town is about to live the perfect nightmare. The X-Files, all new at 9, 8 Central tonight on Fox.
Back in Miami, the Ericsson Open. In the 3rd set, Sampras up 2-1 on serve. Gustavo Kuerten of Brazil serves the opening point of his service game here, 15 love.
And that's the part of Gustavo's game that's really got to come around as these sets in this match progresses. It really hasn't been a factor so far, except for a couple of times.
Long on the return. 30 love, Kuerten.
Gustavo only serving 5 aces in this match. First serve percentage 51%, and he can clock them. I mean, Gustavo can get in a groove where he's serving ace after ace. Oh, little serving volley, yes.
Well executed.
The French Open champion.
40 love. A little bit of a statement there too, do you think, Luke?
Well, that he's mixing it up, and he does have the ability. He plays Davis Cup doubles. He plays some doubles in some tour events.
Finishing it off with an ace in Sampras style, ace number 6. Two different kinds of action on the strings from these guys, Luke.
Yeah, their equipment's a little bit different. Pete Sampras, this is the behind the scenes with Jay Schwade and his stringing team. These are Gustavo's rackets this morning. He had 3 strung up. Look at the team. They're in the dungeon. They never get to see the light of day. Look at all the strings going at it. Now Gustavo strings his rackets with a synthetic string at 57 pounds, so very loose for the pros, whereas Pete Sampras, on the other hand, strings natural gut at 75 pounds. So the tightness, the reason the rackets are so tight is to give Pete a little bit more control. And Gustavo, the loose strings are like a trampoline to give himself a little bit more pop.
That chord well played by Sampras. There's the lob, and he's up for it.
So 2 different types of thinking from Sampras and Kuerten, according to the rackets they use, the kinds of strings and the tensions.
$15 love, Sampras. Kuerten at 6'3", 165. I guess he is looking for a little more muscle to come from his racket.
It's great, the technology these days. We talk about the power from these rackets compared to the old wood rackets, and Gustavo's a guy who tries to maximize the power he can get from his strings, his string tension, and that graphite stick he's using.
30 love, Sampras.
Left for serve.
Matt, 133 long.
Pete Sampras, on the other hand, uses a very heavy racket. Puts a lot of lead tape on it, one of the heavier rackets played out there. Philippus is another guy. He strings his rackets really tight, 80 pounds. That would just ruin your arm and shoulder, Tim. I'm telling you, you try to hit with that, it's like hitting with a brick wall.
Philippus is the highest, Luke?
Yeah, at 80 pounds, that's right.
Looks like an elephant gun.
That's right.
Wielded by him, at least.
There's that wide serve that's been effective the entire match. Only a couple times Guga has sat on it. But this is the big advantage for Pete Sampras, to have that huge gun in that first and second serve where he can be down and stay in the match with the serve, where he doesn't have to play long points like Courier or Agassi and Chang.
Oh, yes. High volley from Sampras, a love game. And he is up 3-2 on serve here in the 3rd set. They have a set apiece.
Now! I gotta go. Bye. Coming!
3 interactive pagers, 5 separate email addresses, 2 fully functioning websites, 160 TV channels,
Oh, we're so glad you could join us, sir.
4 cell phones, and just 1 rule. Not at the dinner table. Connect and create something. Bell South.
A different world.
Fox dating tip number 74. Be sure she hasn't just broken up with someone bigger than you. That 70 show, all new at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Well, last weekend at the Ericsson Open, we have a Hall of Fame celebrating the 16-year history, and Andre Agassi has won this tournament many times. He went in, and Steffi Graf. Is it a coincidence? Who knows? There's Butch Buchholz, the founder of this event, with his brother Cliff Buchholz. They went into the Hall of Fame too. Another way the tennis is being brought back to the fan here at the Ericsson Open.
Love the team.
Long from Kuerten.
As you can see, miss backhand, but in that Ericsson Expo, you had a chance to vote for next year's Hall of Fame inductees. Everyone got to punch her. Lendl, Sabatini, Everett. Great addition to the tournament.
No mistake there from the Brazilian.
15 all.
15 all.
Well, that is the Achilles heel for Pete Sampras. That's why he has so much trouble on clay, where the ball bounces nice and high. Guys will kick serves high to the backhand of Pete Sampras. Pete doesn't put enough juice on it. The ball lands short, and then guys can run around, use forehands, and dictate from there.
Too good for Sampras.
Well, Sampras busted to get over to the backhand side and slid
15-30.
his backhand pass cross court nice and low, and Guru couldn't handle the volley. But see how the racket's high, and then he knifes underneath the ball, keeping the ball nice and low.
15-30. Door open a crack here for Sampras. On serve. Well, that one got the lines person right on the noggin.
That's right.
Yeah. Good as ground. That's long from Sampras.
We said at the top of the show that Gustavo Kuerten is a counterpuncher, but from the ground, he likes to dictate on his own terms. He likes to be patient. When he gets a ball he likes, then he will explode. He seems to be doing this towards the end of the second and throughout his service games in the third, whereas Pete Sampras is the one running around now on the baseline.
First serve.
Kuerten a 2-3 on serve here in the third set. Sampras won the first. Kuerten won a tiebreak in the second. Good serve. Sampras was there, couldn't deliver it. He's unhappy with himself.
Well, pistol busted right once
40,
again.
30.
Going to the open court. Giving Guga that downline forehand. He just couldn't make the pass.
40-30, point from 3 all.
Game Kuerten.
And an ace, number 7 for Kuerten.
3 games all.
Match all even again. Career titles in the Open era. Jimmy Connors well on top, but look at Pete Sampras here closing in on Vilas and Borg. A victory here today would tie him with those two greats in 4th place for career number of titles won. Good save from Sampras. Good save from Sampras. Deep and pulling Kuerten wide.
Yeah, sliding that ball out wide. Moving his opponent off the court. It's who can control the middle of the court with your serve and your ground strokes and push your balls out wide to the sideline. Make your opponent move and stretch.
So Sampras checking the sun. It's slanting in now. If you're serving from that end, you're looking right into it, but it will soon drop below the top of the stadium. We're approaching 5 o'clock Eastern time.
You moved your clock ahead, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, good. Otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here with you.
At least not in the first set.
40 love.
40 love Sampras. Now, do you wait till 2 in the morning and then wake yourself up to then advance the time? Or
I get like wake-up calls from all different time zones.
Number 5. for Pete Sampras.
So Pete Sampras still hanging steady with 30 winners compared to 22 unforced errors. We're going to watch that stat. Whereas Gustavo Kuerten having a great stat. 30 winners compared to only 9 unforced errors.
Oh, that's great. He's had 3 of those in this match.
Maybe the toughest shot in the game of tennis to hit. A running one-hand backhand topspin lob.
40-30.
Maybe your forearm isn't strong that way, and you have to run to get it, get underneath the ball, get the leverage, and hit the top.
And make sure it's high enough so you don't have that sky shot coming back from Sampras. 40-30.
Watch Guga on his toes now. Good body language.
Double fault in the break.
Deuce.
Now back to deuce, pardon me. Deuce. Sampras, 2 double faults in this game, 6 in the match.
Mentally, it just kills you when you're up 40-love in the game, and all of a sudden you're back at deuce, and you're in a dogfight to hold your serve. 6 double faults now for the match for Pete Sampras. 16 aces. 17.
Advantage Sampras.
Sorry, Pete. Didn't mean to get out in front of you.
So often when he needs it, he's got it. And he holds after a bit of a struggle. 4 games to 3 on serve in the 3rd set. A set apiece in this championship match as we look live down on world-famous South Beach in Miami.
Years of friendship.
No matter who or what you find out there, we'll always be your family.
A lifetime of memories.
The 5 of us have to stay together as long as we can. It just feels right.
How do you say goodbye when it has to last forever?
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
However long it takes, I'm not going to go anywhere.
The final episodes of Party of 5 and 90210 begin Tuesday and Wednesday on Fox.
T-Rex just loves the IRS. Inventory reduction savings right now at Rex. Get this Hitachi 50-inch stereo projection TV with 24-watt speaker system, Genius universal remote, and more for only $14.99. Rex has this Whirlpool super capacity 5-cycle washer with 3 wash rinse temperatures for $2.99. And this Toshiba 32-inch stereo color TV with surround sound and more, just $4.99. Terrific value, terrific prices during the IRS sale right now at Rex.
When people come on wheel, they sort of lose control. I mean, sometimes they really get carried away.
Sometimes you get carried away, too.
You never know what'll happen when people start spinning out of control.
But that's what everyone loves about Wheel.
Easy for you to say.
Wheel of Fortune. Give it a spin.
Tomorrow at 7 on Fox 51.
Tim Ryan, Luke Jensen, Pam Oliver back here, where Gustavo Kuerten, winning that 2nd set in a tiebreak, is on serve in the 3rd here with Pete Sampras. Drop shot a little deep, and Sampras with the pass. Kuerten can't handle.
That was a scouting report on Gustavo Kuerten. When he gets to the net, he's a good touch volleyer, but he doesn't have enough authority on those volleys. And look at this. That's a lame drop volley. I can even run that one down.
Above 15. 15 all.
It's a pivotal time for both players. Who's going to step up and raise the level of their game?
Just back. Sampras put a little extra juice on it.
That's the right play from Pete Sampras, though. controlling the middle of the court off the ground with his forehand.
30-15 Kuerten.
Nice deep first serve, only 93 miles an hour, but effective into the Sampras backhand body, right into his hip pocket.
Gustavo's increased his sound effects here too as the match has gone on. Like that. Good deep return from Sampras.
Well, instead of tripping it, he decides to roll over the top. Puts a little bit more spice on that shot, a little bit more pace, driving the ball deep, taking away time to run over there for Gustavo Kuerten.
40-30, point from 4-all for Kuerten. Just missed on first serve. And a double fault. Costly. Deuce. Tim Ryan with Luke Jensen, Pam Oliver here on Fox. We're covering live the Ericsson Open, the men's championship. Best 3 of 5. Gustavo Kuerten, the number 6 seed from Brazil, against number 2 Pete Sampras. Kuerten eliminating Andre Agassi in the semifinal to get to this match. Let service. Deuce. Sampras won the first set 6-1, and then Kuerten in the tiebreak in the second set. On serve here in the third, if you're just joining us. Kuerten at 3-4, deuce.
Big opportunity for Pete Sampras right now, second serve.
He's coming. He'll get that. And Sampras will get that. Break point, Sampras.
Pete Sampras showing his athletic ability, darting from side to side. Guga can't put enough stick on this last one. And the lunging Pete Sampras. Pumped.
Thank you. Good serve from Kuerten. Boy, he needed one there.
$1.17 on the gun.
Sampras style, getting out of that hole, saving the break point.
Crucial moments for both players.
Two great points in a row, and Sampras again delivers what turns out to be the winner. Kuerten can't get it back.
The all-court play from Pete Sampras, going from retriever, hitting the lob, forcing Kuerten into a defensive position, and this is the toughest shot in the game right there, the high backhand volley, using the angle, and then Guga can't handle the backhand pass.
Other break point, Sampras.
Gust of wind.
That court will take it wide. Sampras was there. It wasn't a great shot from Kuerten, and Sampras frustrated at that.
At point-blank range. That volley was another feeble attempt at a drop volley. Pete was there with plenty of time with his best ground stroke, the forehand, and the net cord, the kiss, pushes it wide.
And the Kuerten partisans are ready, cheering that misfortune of Sampras. They're back to deuce. Yes. A bullet down the line from Sampras. Another break point, third of this game.
The running forehand is Pete Sampras' second best shot, only second to his serve. But watch, the racket was back. He drives it down the line right on the paint.
Sampras on second serve knocks it into the net. Deuce again. What a battle in this game.
It was a short second serve. He had a green light. Paul Annacone watches on.
Is he watching?
No, he's actually scouting. He's got that pad of paper.
Deuce. Big serve from Kuerten.
Yeah, Paul Annacone's charting the matches, seeing all the opportunities. Almost slipped through his players' hands. That serve at 123 miles an hour.
Block service from the Brazilian. Point from 4-all again. And he leaves that just in time and holds. What a battle in that game. Credit to the Brazilian. We're even at 4, the match is even. And that brings out the flags and the fans for Guga. Well, next Saturday, catch all the action as Fox Sports brings you the Santa Anita Derby. The best three-year-olds in the West square off for $1 million purse. Live from Santa Anita Park Saturday. Coverage begins at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, only on Fox.